J.A. Moore beat out Samuel Rivers to become the next state representative for District 15. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I speak exclusively with J.A. one-on-one. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. And listen to this interview later on the free Quintin's Close-Ups iHeartRadio podcast. Representative J.A. Moore, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much, Quintin. It's good to see you again.
Likewise. How did we get here?
Oh, wow, Quintin, I tell you what, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of dedicated volunteers, voters who I think were encouraged and excited about the energy that we put into this campaign. My mama and my amazing wife, Victoria, so many dedicated people to our campaign. You know, I think that's how we got here. Just a lot of hard work and a little bit of faith.
And you know, when I look back at the Charleston Chronicle article recently, this is from November 15th, the headline reads this: newly elected SC House District 15 Representative J.A. Moore, quote, "The fight's not over."
That's right.
How's the fight going right now?
I think the fight is we're lacing up. We're putting on the gloves, and the fight that I think is important here in South Carolina is the fight for quality education for all of our young people here in South Carolina. That is the fight. And I think if we're not all focused on that, then we're gonna miss it. But that's the fight that I think, as all legislators, that we have to take up. We got to take it up now. We got to get in the ring, and we have to be ready to fight and combat the challenges that we have for public education.
What are those challenges right now in your mind?
Well, there's a number of different challenges, Quintin. I'm glad you asked that. We have a funding crisis here in South Carolina. We have to better fund our public schools. We have to pay our teachers more. We have to make sure that our students have all of the resources they need to properly learn and develop as humans and young people. One of the things that I'm pre-filing 8 pieces of legislation this year, Quintin. The last one I just got off the phone with the State House to let them know to go ahead and press go on it. And what that piece of legislation does, Quintin, is 2 separate pieces.
Okay.
The first piece deals with mental health awareness and wellness for all students. What we're proposing in this piece of legislation, Quintin, is to start out in 7th grade to make mental health awareness classes be elective. So students starting in 7th grade can start taking mental health awareness classes and wellness classes, and then in the 9th grade, mirroring it's very similar to sex education classes. We're making it required before you can graduate high school that you take a mental health awareness and wellness class, because it's an epidemic, Quintin. I've done so much research on it. It's an epidemic here in South Carolina of young people dealing with mental health all the way up into college level students. And so we need to attack that right now. And so that's a piece of legislation. The second piece of legislation that we pre-filed deals with per 200 student, that it's a staff person at each school per 200 students. So if you have 2,000 students in a school, that you'll have 10 certified people that go through a training program so they can identify mental health challenges by our students. And see, this isn't just healthcare, but it also deals with public school safety. And it's something that we have to do. We have to, it's a big part of the bigger picture with public education. Okay. We have to make sure that it's funded, make sure we have the resources that we need, make sure the kids are getting all of the support they need. And I think this mental health awareness bill that we're working on, both of these bills are going to be very critical to making that happen. It's something that I'm a champion throughout the legislative session. After the session is over with, next session we're going to do that because it's important. And we also we're working on 2 other pieces of legislation that deal with giving tax credits for teachers. One dealing with recertification, because teachers have to take all of these recertification classes. And I didn't realize it. My mom's a teacher, and my sister has taught that comes out of their pocket.
Right.
The class, it can be up to $1,500 that they have to pay because they have to take a master's level class. So the legislation that I'm pre-filing deals with giving them a tax credit up to $1,500 to pay back those recertification classes. And the other one deals with dependent care and child care reimbursement tax credit for certified teachers. And so, because we have teachers who have to put their kids in daycare, or they have an elderly parent or a sick spouse, and while they're in school, they're having to put their dependent in some type of care facility. I want to make sure that we give some more benefits for teachers to teach our students, and they're not worried about the economic challenges that we all face. So those are two pieces of legislation that I'm pre-filing, that I'm sponsoring. I'm also I put my name as a co-sponsor on the Teacher Bill of Rights,
right,
which is very, very important. And because we have to fight for our teachers, giving them the adequate funding they need. We have to pay them more, but also we have to give them the time that they need in classroom to do classroom work, and not so much of this administrative stuff.
How much time do these teachers need more of right now?
Man, they need a lot of time, Quintin. They really need a lot of time. I don't know if you can quantify it, if it's an exact amount, because every teacher is different. Every teacher needs something different. But we have to respect our teachers a lot more. We have to treat our teachers as the professionals that they are. We got to give them all the resources that they need. Like I was telling you, it's something that's very close to me, because my mom is a teacher. I have a niece that's a teacher, and sisters that are teachers. And throughout the campaign, and now I meet with teachers on a regular basis, at least once, twice, sometimes 3 times a week. I'm hearing from teachers, and that has to be our number one resource. Our number one priority has to be our teachers and our students at all levels, K through 12, and then higher education.
You talk about the campaign from then to now.
Yeah.
Who is J.A. Moore these days?
You know what? I think number one, I'm a husband. I'm a son. I'm a person who cares so much about our community. I'm a chef.
That's right. I talked to Mayor Christy Wainwright about that the other day.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm a citizen just like you, Quintin.
Okay.
And that's what I want to bring to this campaign, not even to this office, for people to realize that we all as elected officials are citizens just like you all, and that it's important for all of us to be active and engaged citizens. That think about this, Quintin. Less than a month ago, I was not an elected official. I was just a person a chef that ran for office who cared. A year ago, I never thought I would be a state representative. I was just a person who cared about the community and wanted to make change happen.
And how do you hope to make change happen over the next 2 years?
I think building coalitions, working on a bipartisan basis, because the truth of the matter is that here in South Carolina, the majority of the state representatives and senators and the governor's mansion aren't Democrats, but they're good people. They're people that care about our community. They want to see our state move forward. So I have to work with people. And I think it's also important for me to stay engaged with citizens and neighbors and business owners and young people. And let them know that this is our seat. I represent all of us. And so just as much as I can, making sure as many people have a seat at the table, as many people have full access to me to share their ideas and for me to share ideas with them. I tell you what, I've been so encouraged by the young people and the more experienced people and all people who never were involved in politics before. Didn't see why it was important to them, but come to me often with ideas of how we can make our community better. So I think I have to continue to remember that I am a citizen, that this seat, this representation is not about me, and it never was. It's about all of us. And so I think if I keep that kind of mentality and that understanding, and I continue to have an open door policy and welcome as many ideas and people and stuff, then I think we can make change happen, because it's change, contrary to beliefs of us millennials, doesn't happen tomorrow or instantly. It happens over time. And I think in these 2 years, the time that we're given over the next 2 years, we can make change happen. And that's what I'm doing. I'm getting my Instagram and my Twitter and my Facebook. I want to use it as a tool to keep people engaged. I want to use it as a tool to keep people informed. I want to use it as a tool to communicate, for me to communicate and for people to communicate with me. I just want, that's how we make change happen, Quintin. I can go on and on and on about it because I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the opportunities that we have here in South Carolina, that we have in District 15 in Charleston and Berkeley County. I'm pumped up, man.
And you talk about engagement, obviously tomorrow.
Yeah.
I believe you, Representative Penalvis,
Yeah.
State Senator Marlon Kimpson, State Senator Marjorie Bright Matthews
Yeah.
are going to hold a town hall meeting to basically talk to basically citizens about how a bill become a law.
Right. Don't forget about my freshman representative,
Oh, I'm sorry,
Crystal
Crystal
Simmons,
Simmons.
who I am so excited about. And we also have the statesman, Representative David Mack,
That's
is going to
right.
be there
That's right.
as well, and Representative Brown
Right. Oh, yeah.
said he's going to be there as well. So this is, think about Schoolhouse Rock.
Okay.
Junction. You remember Schoolhouse Rock? So we're gonna really talk to folks about how you can take an idea, how you can take a purpose, how you can take a cause and create legislation, and how that legislation can become a law, and how that law can change and impact people's lives. And it's amazing to me. Like I said, I've only been in office for a very short period of time, a couple weeks now, and it's just been very phenomenal to me to see the process in action. And I've tried to, as much as I can, share that with folks through social media. But tomorrow is a good opportunity for us to be at a location. We're going to be at the North Charleston City Hall
Chambers,
the council chambers.
That's right.
At 6 o'clock.
Right.
And we want people to come so they can get a better understanding. Because, to be honest with you, I didn't know as much as I know about how legislation has become law, and all the resources that we have as elected officials to make that happen. All the incredible people, staff at the State House that do some incredible work. I know, they probably tired of me. I call them every single day because I get calls every day.
Sure.
And I'm excited about that tomorrow, man. I hope as many people as possible can come out, and I know we'll be doing stuff on social media, all us that are going to be there to make sure people can be engaged in what we have going on.
And let's fast forward from January to really April.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to interview you for Quintin's Close-Ups in May, what would you tell me about your first term in office?
I think my first year, man, I think what I have to do is I'm one of those type of people, Quintin, and you probably know this, that I want to attack something right away. If there's a problem, I want to say, okay, this is the problem. How can we come up with a solution, long-term solution? But what I have to realize is that I'm a freshman representative. I'm in the minority party. So I think what's more important than anything is I need to go to Columbia, learn as much as I can about how all of the rules work at the House, build relationships, real relationships with other legislators. That's from a passing legislation standpoint. But I think what we can do here in Charleston and Berkeley County and in the district is that we can get people more engaged in making our community better. I think you'll see a lot of me, around community events, being active in the community, helping the community think. Because there's a lot of things, a lot of changes that can happen that doesn't take legislation. is really just getting to know people. The lights went out on us.
And there's a bug back there.
Yeah, there's getting to know people in the community, and there's so many people in the private sector and nonprofit organizations and people that are just doing good stuff. That I think in April or May of 2019, you'll see a lot of movement happening in District 15, a lot of energy, a lot of positive changes. We've met with the mayor, Mayor Rainwater,
Yes.
which he is incredible. Met with Mayor Beebe in Goose Creek,
Oh, yes.
good person. Met with Mayor Summey. We're still planning on meeting with the mayor of Monk's Corner, which we haven't done that yet. But I think there's going to be a lot of collaboration. You'll see a lot of things. It'll be a lot of energy, positive energy towards change.
That is so great to hear.
Yeah.
Well, State Representative J.A. Moore, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
I appreciate it too, man. Even the lights went out on us, y'all. This is good, though.
Yeah,
man. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.